Welcome to Clarity and Purpose. Our world is full of people who are overworked and overwhelmed. They lose focus on what matters, struggle to find a vision for the future, and lose time with those they love. We help businesses and their teams clearly understand their purpose and help them communicate more effectively. I'm your host, James Thorne, and I'm joined by my co-host, Jake Jordan. Hey, Jake.
Hello, James.
Hey, man, I was thinking about earlier when I started one of my first jobs, and I was fortunate to be over a lot of people in management. I ended up not liking my job that much down the road. I enjoyed what I learned, but I realized I wasn't building teams, and it was the people that made the difference, right? Showing up to work every day. And I think people would agree with that. They would nod their head and say, yes, it's the people.
Yeah, for sure.
But I have definitely wanted to focus more on building that team, right? Like putting the energy, and that's kind of the focus, even what we're doing here at Quirk. But share a team that you've been a part of or something that has impacted you in that way.
Yeah, so I mean, like I played baseball a lot when I was a kid, and I was on a lot of different teams. And the teams that I had the most fun with were the ones where I really got to know the guys. And there was either challenges or there was things that we had to go through together, and we just really had to help each other out. So I agree. I've had jobs that I should have really enjoyed, but the people just weren't really happy to be there, or things weren't going on, and it's not near as fun when people aren't having fun, right?
Oh, true. No, yeah, that's so true. I dealt with that a little bit probably in drumline in high school. Did you know I played snare in senior year and bass? I was that bass drum, bro. Anyways, that's beside the point. Our guest today, Juan Rodriguez, he owns Magdalena's. He's a chef. He's a top chef, actually, well known here in Fort Worth.
Right, Chopped.
And he was on Chopped, yep. But he is someone that is growing an incredible team. Mm-hmm. And I value not only the relationship we have, but the business that we get with each other. We work together. But man, when I think about him, I think about what he's doing for his teams.
Well, let's be honest. One of the best things in good teams are good food, right? Whether you're with your family or you're with a team or you're with a business or you have a great owner, look the wrong way. There you go. Have a great owner that buys food for you. It helps to have clients that make great food.
No, yeah. I love being the person that buys food a lot for people. And because I know
that's right,
that when the food's there, everyone shows up and we all have a good time. So it does something. And I think that's what's so unique about our guest today. So what I love about Juan is he's all about his teams. And I value him not just in business as a relationship, but someone that really focuses on his team, puts a lot of energy on where they're going and focuses individually with them. So I love that about him. So without further ado, let's introduce our guest like we do every week. His passion for cooking began at an early age while learning from his grandmother's kitchen in Monterrey, Mexico. His love for food gave him the drive to work his way up in the culinary world and ultimately venture out on his own. He is a chef and owner of Magdalena's, a boutique catering and supper club company named after his grandmother, here in Fort Worth, Texas. He brings people back to the dinner table with a fresh take on dining and delicious food. Trust me, I've eaten a lot of it. As seen on the Food Network's Chopped, my compadre, Juan Rodriguez. What's up, man? Hey, Juan.
What's up? How are you?
Good, man.
Do
you like that?
I like that. That was good.
Yeah, I thought, it was a little something special there. So you are a busy man. You've got a lot going on. Trying to. Yeah, well, you're definitely doing it. So let's just jump right in as far as what's going on. Well, first, let's give our viewers a little bit of background. Tell me about you and your family.
Yeah, well, I guess immediate family, my wife and I, my son. A little guy came along 3 years ago, almost right when we started taking off with Magdalena's. So that kept us super busy, right? So it's always been, it was a blessing and great for him to see what it's like to be around the business.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, everyone's great. Magdalena was my grandmother, like you said, who raised me half of my life. She was my inspiration. So it's only fitting that we name the company after her. And use, some of her recipes, my recipes, combine all of them, really all sorts of cuisine. We travel a lot, so we like to see different cuisines, different regions, and bring that into the menu. Because ultimately, we want to bring people together through food. That's our passion, is to bring people together through community. And with community, you have to involve food, because we all can relate to some type of recipe or dish to a good memory in their lifetime.
No, that's good. And I like to make a point too with this, because some people can get confused. You're not just dealing with Mexican food, even though you make some incredible Mexican food. I mean, we've had some incredible dishes that were all across the board. And that's what's neat, because you are building all sorts of great experiences, usually every month, or different menus, and it's fun to see kind of what you come out with. Even though there's some incredible Mexican dishes that you've brought from your past, which is awesome.
Well, thank you.
So, and there's a new experience, so let's go ahead and share about that too. For those of you who are jumping on right now, we're actually going to target some of you guys right after this for Facebook. But tonight you're launching, explain this kind of new food truck.
Yeah, we're launching our new food truck tonight at Walsh Ranch Development. Right now, it's a collaboration between Austin City Taco, because I'm the culinary director there as well. But I approached the owner and said, "Hey, let me buy the truck from you. I like to use it as Magdalena's full time." He said, "Yeah, absolutely. Take over it, buy it from me, and do your thing." They don't want to mess with it too much. They're focused more on the restaurant.
Yeah.
So I said, "Hey, let me do something with it. That way, it's running. It's staying up to date, fresh, and eventually take over it."
So when you first got started, and it wasn't easy, right? I know you've got some stories.
Yeah.
Tell me the story, or remind us. So the one you told me where you're like almost not able to pay for anything, right? We're getting toward the end of the year.
Yeah.
So explain that story real quick.
Yeah. So we started going February of 2015. Hired a contractor who was going to get the build out done of our commercial kitchen, and he said, "Yeah, May it'll be ready to go. Y'all can use it." So we started booking events. July came around, and nothing was done. So we were putting more money into it. The contractor bailed with $9,000, and Uncle came up from Mexico to help finish it out. By this time, it was almost September, having to do all the finish out and the build out and all that. But luckily, we had a really great plumber who kind of became a good friend, and he wanted to help whichever way he could to help us, achieve our goal and finishing this kitchen. So we got it all done. Came towards October, we had a bunch of events, and it's the first weekend of October, and I'm looking at our bank account to go buy some produce or some ingredients for the wedding we had coming up. And my wife had booked some stuff. I mean, she was booking all through the year. And finally, I looked at the calendar. I said, "Oh, we only have $1,000 left in our bank account, hon." It's like, that is it. And we have all this. And by this point, that's all we had. So I cried on the stairs, and I still remember it because we had the stairs going to the second floor, and I sat there and I cried. And my brother was there as well, and he's like, "Hey, it'll be okay. Just gotta have a little bit of faith." But it knocks you down. It knocks you down. Everything that happened with money and the contractor bailing, and we're almost 8 months behind schedule on the build out. And but something happened, and we received a check from one of the weddings who wanted to pay everything in cash for the following year. So it was literally the next day we got money and said, yeah, we went ahead and go ahead and pay for the whole wedding. I'm like, wow, that's crazy, right? So we used it to float it, and ever since then we just haven't looked back.
That's
we
awesome.
Just keep growing and growing.
Hey, let's take a quick break from our interview and talk about something a lot of people are going through right now. There are a lot of people that hit a major slowdown during the COVID crisis. Many of our clients came to us and said sales are down and we're looking to have to lay people off, possibly sell buildings or other assets. Is there anything we can do to get momentum back in the business? The good news is the items are actually helping our clients, and we wanted to help other people with the advice that we gave them. So we built a guide you can download for free called Grow Again. What you do in your business when you get hit by the unexpected. We want you, the audience, to have it too. It contains 7 videos that explain the strategies we shared with our clients. It has 4 screen shares that show you exactly how we apply the techniques to our business, and it has 4 worksheets and scripts that you can literally pick up today and use yourself. So go to quirkgrowth.com/growagain and download your copy today. All right, let's get back to the interview. So let's talk about now, because I'm going to bring this back into this current stage of today. But let's talk about the heart behind why you do this. Like your heart, mission, mantra. It's like we're bringing people together, and food does that. So explain how that kind of started and why that is.
Yeah, my grandmother was really big on bringing people together, and all of my memories, most of my memories were at the dinner table with my cousins, my uncles, my parents, grandparents, and it was just kind of forgetting about everything that was going on outside of, in the world, and just focusing on each other. And it happened to be around food too, tamales and enchiladas and sopes and everything, the Mexican hamburgers and anything you can imagine we had at the dinner table. But it was a way for us to come together and really just have fun and catch up, you know?
Yeah.
That was back in the day when we had the chance to. But as years went on, social media came about, people started becoming more distant, too busy. And, I wanted something to help bring people together. And we all have memories of those times. So that's why we wanted to make sure that, even with our weddings, our supper club, that there is a connection with food. So in the wedding, for instance, we do ask the bride if there's a dish that she grew up eating that we can recreate for her. And supper club, before all this, everybody was sitting together, getting to know each other, forgetting about everything outside in the real world, and just having a good time for those 2 hours. And hopefully bring back some memories while you're eating, your food.
That's awesome. I know we've laughed and connected on Pixar movies. Another one, Ratatouille, one of my favorite scenes is when the critique or the critic is sitting there and trying the Ratatouille dish for the first time, and it takes him back to a kid, right? He's like, and he's like this kid with a broken, or scraped knee getting into the house, and
that's a perfect example.
Yeah, I love that. Like, because you're right. It creates those memories because it's not the food as much as it's the bond, and that, yes, food tastes incredible. Yes, right. Like the food is incredible, but there's more to it. And and that's what's been fun to see over the years for Magdalena's, because I think because of that, since it wasn't just trying to make incredible food only, right? Like yes, you're doing that, and you've been rewarded in so many different ways. But it's that heart that's like in the mission to do that, I think, is what's really made it blow up. Because, let me ask this. Would you ever, 5 years ago, do you think you'd be where you're at today? Like, how does that make you feel? Like, looking back, is it just humbling? Like, what does that look like?
It is. Yeah, it is. With everything that went on and all the hurdles we had to overcome, it's awesome. Yeah, it's super humbling. And knowing that we have staff that we're looking out after, helping them grow, their families grow. It's a great feeling.
Okay, so let's talk about now. We're in 2020. For those of you that might be watching this in the future, Rona struck and the places went
Yeah.
nuts, and we are having all sorts of restrictions due to a virus. So even today, our last night, things have been put in place, to change even more, right? Like even Fort Worth,
Yeah.
we're making more adjustments. So, and rightfully so, we're trying to figure it out. But with your business, catering being the number one source of income, what did that do to you guys whenever that hit?
Oh, it disappeared.
Overnight?
Luckily, everybody moved. We
Yeah,
didn't have any cancellations. It's like all these sales picked up from March, April, and then moved over to the fall.
right.
So hopefully, if people wear their mask and follow the guidelines, we might be good by then. We should be,
Sure.
but who knows? I mean,
Right. There's so many unknowns.
so many unknowns. All we can do is adjust. Um, stress levels are super high with everybody.
Right.
Just be cool, calm, and try to work through the problems. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to figure things out as we go. But it makes it so much better and so much easier when guests and customers or anybody are right there with you fighting the same fight.
Yeah.
Um, it just makes it a little more easy.
Yeah.
We
No,
don't
sure.
need any more hard stuff right now. There's so much going
Oh,
on.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's true. Never would have thought all the things that are going on at once here in 2020.
Yeah.
Um, okay,
Mhm.
so tell me what y'all have done different, because obviously, great. Hopefully, all those events will take place in the fall. Still
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So
If
we
What have you done since then?
we went to go and delivery
Right.
service, set menu every week, change it up every week. We are doing private in-home weddings for 20 people or less, and they can also rent out our space for small intimate weddings because I think that's where it's headed towards. And it's gone well. And now the food truck, we're gonna add the food truck on top of that to go different neighborhoods,
Yeah.
provide something different.
What would you tell someone else that wants to start a business right now doing what you're doing?
Oh, I would say, find something that's gonna appeal to, the times right now.
Yeah.
I don't feel like a full restaurant is in the works for anybody, but that's just my opinion. But you can do something that's COVID friendly, I guess you can
Right.
say.
Right.
Or a food truck, just with the food truck. You're
Yeah.
safer
There you go.
behind the window and taking orders, at least for the meantime.
Yeah.
But some people say, a lot of big entrepreneurs say this is the right time to start a business during the pandemic. I believe it. There's a lot of people looking for different things, but all I can say is just if you keep your head down and keep working hard.
Yeah.
Your stress level is going to be there. You just have to work through it.
That's awesome. Yeah. Totally. It's all that hard work, man. Stick to what you're following today's theme. Stick to your mission, stick to your values, and then just work hard. Yeah.
That's it. Keep my dad taught me to keep my head down and work hard.
That's
So
awesome.
that's what I still keep doing.
That's cool. Well, all right. Well, I know you're busy. You got to get a food truck ready to out the door. You're literally gonna walk out and do that.
Walk out and turn it on and go.
That's exactly what's happening. I know. All right. So Waltz Ranch tonight, 5 to 7. Come join. And Juan, thank you so much for taking some time out. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Well, like we do every week, Juan, we close it out with a little move in here. So you ready?
Ready.
All right, let's do this. And here it is. There it is. All right, Jake. So what's really funny about this interview is Juan's a busy dude. Like, he's hard to track down, hard to keep in even a 10-minute conversation because there's so much going on, so much that he's doing. And he was out the door literally. I had like a 30-minute window, even though I'm a planner, plan this out. 30-minute window, and he went and hitched up a trailer and was heading to an event right after the interview. But what I love about it, again, is just his focus on team. He's always building incredible people. And
yep, and it's cool. It's cool to watch him run because he's running towards something cool, which is bringing people together. So it's not just like he's this guy running around with his head cut off trying to do all these different things. He's always trying to build into people and help people come together. So it's an honor and a privilege to know someone like that.
Yeah, love it. And I want to put more of that energy on what we do here at Quirk. So thanks for joining us on Clarity and Purpose, where we believe when a business leader aligns their team with their message, they become unstoppable.